I want to first salute this audience, made up largely of those who are ones of thousands points of light. I was so moved by the movie here, so pleased to hear Dr. McGill's comments. I was in the Sudan back when I was vice president. I was in Somalia with Phil Johnson here when I was president. And this seems like deja vu, but what came through was not just the agony, but the fact that this marvelous organization that we honor here today is involved and is trying to help and is lifting up people's lives there and all around the world. I want to salute Baron and Eric Hilton, both friends of mine for a long, long time, and Donald Hubbs. Thank the Hilton Foundation for appropriately honoring not just this year's winner, but those each year who were singled out and thus inspire others with their commitment to helping others. I'd say to Judy Miller, I was pleased to see her. I was very honored to have hear the blessing from Cardinal O'Connor, a man I do admire. And of course, we have here Rudy Giuliani, a political leader without frontiers, a guy who's done so much for this city that it's resonated all across the country. I can tell you that. You know, one of the truly rewarding aspects of having served as president is the many opportunities that I've had to meet with people here in the U.S. and around the world who've accomplished extraordinary things in service to their fellow man. And without fail, I'm always struck by two thoughts. The first is the profound way in which these selfless people make us all better by their inspiring example. And the second is the difficulty one has in finding the right words to thank them for everything they do. It's taken a while, but I've discovered something I guess I have always known, that words alone cannot possibly convey the proper sense of gratitude that decent people everywhere feel in their hearts toward those who help heal the sick, comfort the less fortunate. Indeed, when juxtaposed with remarkable acts we are gathered here to applaud, even the most eloquent of words are incapable of adequately capturing the fundamental essence of what it means to care, to give a damn, to try, and to touch the life of another. But actions are different. Words can be offered freely, but it takes actions to fulfill the intent of the words we offer. And I've always been one to believe that actions give words their true meaning. And that's why I'm pleased to be here today to bear witness as one wonderful group, the Hilton Foundation, who do so much for others, salutes another, Doctors Without Borders, for their extraordinary work lifting the lives of the downtrodden and the less fortunate. Baseball season has just ended, so let me put it in baseball terms. Having the Hilton Foundation honor Doctors Without Borders for their humanitarian work is like Mark McGwire honoring Sammy Sosa for hitting home runs. The point is, you both do it, and you do it very, very effectively. And I salute both organizations, the donor and the recipient. As many of you know, when Conrad Hilton gave the foundation its charter, he wrote, "There is a natural law that obliges you and me to relieve the suffering, the distressed, and the destitute." And judging by their actions over the last 27 years, it would appear that Doctors Without Borders shares this charter, for that's exactly what they've done. You can see from the movie, it's exactly what they continue to do. And while I know that they operate free from government or religious influence, I think Cardinal O'Connor was right on target when he noted that clearly what you do is the Lord's work here on earth. And so in evidence today is the noblest of causes, joined by the most charitable of organizations. It is commitment in action, that commitment not only to help provide needed support for this truly humanitarian work, but also to help lead the effort to make stronger the hands that heal. You know, the Cold War, thank God, is over, but the extinction of the Soviet Empire, the implosion of the Soviet Empire and the extinction of the Soviet Bear has not begun to remove the blight of suffering from the human condition. Regional ethnic strife, disease, famine, all remain. And indeed, in some ways, the need for worldwide humanitarian aid has never been greater. I was talking to Assistant Secretary Julia Taft, who does so much of the Lord's work in her job for our country, and she reminded me that this suffering continues not just in the places we've seen in these films today, but all around the world, and it is critical that organizations like Doctors Without Borders be given the support they need to bring much-needed emergency relief to endangered populations. As Dr. McGill just indicated, and as that gripping film showed, the funds from this prestigious prize will go to help support their relief efforts in Sudan, one of the most devastated areas in our global village today. As Vice President, I mentioned I was there 12 years ago as part of a different famine relief project. So I'm well aware that every bag of rice, every bag of food, every caring physician makes a difference between life and death. And I would simply close by saying that back when I had a job, I often talked about being one of 1,000 points of light, which referred to people who volunteered their time to help others less fortunate than themselves. I believe that I was right when I said there can be no definition of a successful life that does not include service to others. And today, in the Hilton Foundation and in this Doctors Without Borders, we have two of the brightest points of light, whose sterling example is a beacon of hope to us all. And the work you do reminds us that in the human race, none of us gets ahead if some of us are falling behind. So keep up the terrific work. Thank you for having me here, and may God continue to bless the Doctors Without Borders. Thank you.